What's up, guys? It's your boy Chad, and we're back with another video. Today we're gonna be figuring out the best godlies in ultimate tower defense, and yeah, I'll show you guys which ones you should get, which ones you should pass on, and which ones you should use for each mode. All right, let's get right into the video. Okay, boys, let me pull up the tier list real quick, and we'll start off with a banger, guys. Now, this unit is misunderstood by a lot of people. Basically, what she does is she has like a random chance that she instantly takes out the unit, okay? And let's just say that it's kind of a random, so it's not like guaranteed odds, but she is very, very useful, but she requires RNG. However, she is meta for infinite mode and not terrible for story mode either. So I'm putting her in S tier because I believe she might be required for the leaderboards. All right, next up, we have Armored Titan. Now, Armored Titan got a ton of buffs for like the longest time. But unfortunately, the Armored Titan's damage is so low for his price that I'm going to actually drop him in the C tier. All right, next up here, guys, we have Christmas Spidey. This is an event unit. I'm not sure if you can even get it anymore, but since it's a free unit, we got to drop it here in the S tier, guys. All right, next up, we have Monkey. Monkey is not a bad unit. However, he's mainly like a range-based unit, so he's really good on the bigger maps. But overall, he's not too OP, and he's only like marginally good for story mode, so I'm gonna drop him in the B tier. Definitely not meta for infinite mode or anything. Next up, we have Bulma. Now, Bulma is meta for story mode, but I don't think Bulma is necessarily required for infinite mode. So we're gonna still put her in S tier, but just know, guys, that she's mainly a story mode unit. Or not story, I guess classic mode is what it's called in this game. All right, next up, we have Guts. Guts is a decent unit. He does have the bleed effect, which is very nice. So I'll drop him in the A tier for that. Decent unit overall. All right. Next up, we have Blue Shenron. Blue Shenron cuts all the enemy's speed by half, but it only works for enemies on the map. So, but this is definitely required for leaderboard boys. So I definitely highly recommend that at least one person has it on your infinite mode run. However, for story mode, it's not really necessary. Next up, we have Car 4. Now, Car 4's damage is so low for her price that she's not really that great, but she's not like trash either. So we're actually going to drop her more towards the B tier. Maybe you can want to take a look, but honestly, unless you're like into like waifus and stuff, I don't really see a use in her. Next up, we have Colossal Titan, whose damage isn't crazy, but does have a pretty sweet like an explosion ability. Kind of like the light Yagami of ultimate tower defense. So for that reason, we're going to drop in the A tier there. All right, next up, we have Crimson Doflamingo. Now, Crimson Doflamingo is great because it has slow and bleed at the same time. For that reason, we're dropping it in the S tier. There's nothing like having one unit that can do multiple things. So yeah, definitely highly recommend that 1 to 2 people have it on your roster here. All right, next up, we have Diabolo. Now, Diabolo, it's a single target unit, which is a lot of damage, but I just don't feel like he's that worth it, considering his cost is pretty crazy. And his SPA is very high as well, so I'm going to drop him here in the C tier. All right, next up, we have the normal Shenron. All right, guys, you need this one if you want to get on the leaderboard. 75% more damage. Dang, guys, that's all I'm saying. Pretty dang good. However, that's actually not necessarily the case. The reason being is to get on the leaderboards, you don't really need damage as much as you need just like the damage effects like bleed, burn. So that actually is going to drop Shenron down to the B tier. Don't really actually think it's meta anymore. It used to be meta when Whitebeard was more meta, but unfortunately, guys, Shenron just isn't in the meta anymore. All right, next up, we have Luffy Gear 4. I'm going to drop Luffy Gear 4 in the A tier only because definitely a very, very good unit for story mode. I'm actually going to drop Guts down to B tier as well. He's not that great. He does have bleed, but you might as well go for Doflamingo. So I'm going to drop him here to the D tier for don't get. You really should just go for Doflamingo instead. Oh my gosh. All right, next up, we have Gaara. Now, Gaara is another underrated unit. He has the amazing like mummify effect, which is pretty dang OP. So definitely highly recommended to get that one. The Mummify kind of just like stalls it in time for a bit, but the thing is you have to really spam him. But he is definitely a meta unit. Highly recommend you have a ton of him on the map. All right, next up we have Goku Rose. Really just the worst version of Luffy. I can't recommend you get him. Not worth it at all. Especially if you're a pro player trying to do leaderboards, you really might as well go for other units. All right, let's see here. Again, same thing with Pain. Oh wait, no, this isn't Pain. This is Nagato. Yeah, guys, just hard pass on Nagato. He's not terrible, but like he's just not that worth it. His SPA is way too high for story mode, so he'll be in the C tier for crap. All right, next up we have Jotaro. Now, Jotaro isn't technically meta because he does have a godly version, so for that reason, we'll probably drop him in the B tier. But overall, he's not that bad. I just say you might want to go with the Divine, or you go with him instead. But yeah, he's not quite meta, but you could theoretically use him for meta, so maybe we'll drop him in the A tier. He's kind of like, you get him if you don't want to get the Divine version. Gojo, they did this unit dirty, guys. He's really not worth it. His damage is so dang low, like, I have to drop him in the D tier. He's a glorified version of Piccolo. I don't even know. Oh, wait, where did I put him on the list? Where's Gojo? There's Gojo. Yeah, Gojo is, yeah. He ain't it, chief. Not highly recommended there. Hard pass on that dude. All right, next up we have Kira with the weird bomb thingy, which is not worth it at all. But it's not terrible. We'll drop it in like the maybe C tier. For don't get. Honestly, like I probably should drop her down as well. Yeah, I think this is more fair. All right, next up we have Lil Naruto. Now, not a terrible unit, but again, there's just like a Shenron, which makes it like way better. So I don't really recommend getting Lil Naruto. You might as well go with where is it? I think it's this golden Shenron instead for leaderboards, and he's just not worth it enough for story mode to make it worth it. So I think he's a hard pass in my opinion. Madara, decent damage unit, but not really meta for much. So I'll drop it in the B tier because you can kind of use it in classic mode. But that's about it. All right, moves on. Again, nothing too crazy here. You can only place one of them as well, which really sucks. But overall, not a terrible unit. We'll drop him in B tier. Polnareff, not really worth it. Decent damage unit, I guess, but I feel like you just should go with Luffy instead, to be honest, or Whis if you have a Divine. Now, Rage Drago gives everything a 200% damage boost, but the thing is, it speeds up the enemies. Now, if you understand, this is literally a stupid. This is the only unit, guys, that actually hurts you, bro. If you use this unit in infinite mode, bro, I'm gonna just leave the round. This guy sucks, bro. Do not get this guy. This guy is not meta for leaderboard. This guy is meta for crap. Please do not get this guy, dude. Please do not get this guy, bro. I'm gonna put a tier for bro. Delete this unit now. Oh my gosh. Please, guys, just delete this unit. Unless the meta changes, just delete it. The only place I could maybe see this being used for is battle mode. But yeah, I'm not quite sure on that one. Someone with battle mode can maybe help me out on that one, but other than that, yeah. All right, here we go. We got Renje from Tokyo Ghoul. He does a lot of damage, so, you know, but again, not meta. So we'll drop him in the C tier. All right, Thanos, OP, guys. You got to use him for leaderboards. He's going to be able to get you guaranteed waves, but you have to place him at the right time, and sometimes he glitches out. But if you want to really get a few extra waves, you got to bring him to get to the top of the leaderboard. All right, next up, we have Sasuke, and not terrible, C tier. All right, next up, we have Tanjiro. Oh, actually, no, next up, we have Frieza. Delete that unit too, guys. Frieza and Shenron, bro. Oh my gosh, please delete those units right now, guys. Please. This guy is just kind of like a Luffy version, so I'll put him in the A tier. He's not like trash or anything, and he's really cheap to place down, which is pretty nice. So I'll drop him there. Definitely recommend it for like starting out rounds and stuff, but not meta for leaderboard or anything. So there you go, guys. There is my tier list for the godly units. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll catch you all in the next one, guys. Chat out. Peace.